Hello guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to beat Colosseum of Despair Fight 35. So as you can see, they have a 13,726 team ability, who's pretty high. So I actually have a pretty decent advantage as a lot of my team is light. So this is going to be for me one of the easiest fights. If you're not light, you're Andor, this is actually going to be harder for you. So in this case, I won't have such a big issue passing it. Now, there's a few notable things in this fight that I just want to point out. The first one is they have Veronica. So that just means that she's going to increase the hype and the attack power within the position. So you want to try to take her out or dodge her depending on how much damage you can dish out. So it's pretty nice. Sadly, she's also going to give some big reflex. So there is a chance when you're combining Veronica and Jeet's passive that they're gonna be very strong. So it's really frustrating, I would say. The good thing is Jeet's active doesn't actually buff her. So I would say to pass this line, you want to either go through Jeet or Gerard. None of them are really good. They're basically just buffing each other up, but there's very little damage resist going around. Now, if you look at the front line, the striker is Lucid. Again, she is pretty decent when well set up. This is a pretty bad setup, so she's not going to be hard. She does have a dual passer setup, so again, I'm going to always advise going through her because she has the lowest reflex of the two, and she's pretty easy to defeat. Plus, she's dark, so there's a lot of light back defenders, I'm going to say. Or if you prefer, you can go through Luca. It's really up to you depending on the elements of your defenders just to max that out. Now, the true cancer of this team lies in its back line. Because basically you have one healer, Avaron, who's pretty decent, 55%, decreased speed. I mean, except for that, he's not that strong. It's a good thing he's in the center, so we don't have to deal with him. There's Vericer, who's going to increase reflex and hype of dark players. He's going to increase action bar, and she has a long pass, so you don't want her to get the ball. Then we have the Demonic Virgil, and yes, I know I kind of also have him. The good part is he's not E, so he's not going to be able to spirit generate. Would have made this fight extremely hard. So you want to really try to force them to use their actives, and for those actives to be used, not to be one of these two guys. So, you know, there's even Nareos. You prefer to even use a forward pass because that mid line is not resistant. So a forward pass is actually advantageous to us. I'm not actually going to try to take out Virgil because I'm going to really pull on the elemental advantage in this round. Just, yeah, here. Correct team. Just see what's going down. So Dark is more powerful on light. This should pretty much sum up what we want to do. Oh yeah, this doesn't go there. And yeah. So let's see exactly what's going to go down. So again, they have around 2k TA more than me. And when the game starts, yeah. No, actually, I'm a bit less than 2k. We're 1.5. But the thing is, they have very bad buffing, I'm going to say. They buff each other to death, but that doesn't actually make them strong. That's the thing that people forget. Okay, well, using an active penetration on a 0 sub Metatron is kind of normal. Okay, we just let them shoot. Again, they're not that powerful, but they just have a decent damage. So if you have some well set up players, it shouldn't be a problem. But if you don't, then it might be a little bit more problematic. They don't have, unlike a lot of the other ones, there's no real gimmick to how to beat this one. They're just going to be using elemental advantage and just maxing out on that. So again, this is kind of frustrating because they're generating a lot of spirits. Oh, perfect. You want her to use it because the less spirit they have, whenever we go to that back line, it's better for us. Because we don't really want them to heal the entire team. That's the one annoying thing that could happen. But it's not at the level of a Latio striker, so it's not that bad. And even if one uses it, since they don't have any spirit generator, it makes no difference. You'll just need to crush them one easier step at a time. Especially since there's cooldowns. Okay, we just penetrate. I mean, we can even try to take him out. No, I failed. So again, it's a really penetration line here. So when they have the ball, it's pretty good. If they don't have the ball, they might get taken out. For a little reassurance, what you could do if you want is replay it until you started the ball. This is going to give you a big advantage against this team. Now, that's a pretty decent reflex. How much is it? Yeah, again, as you can see, decreased damage minus 20%. So, like, totem-wise, they don't really have the smartest ones around town. Alright, finally. Let's actually start doing stuff here. Because 8 minutes have passed and I haven't even gone into front line. So again, just put, if you have some dark players that are good penetrators, put them on the left. Okay, Metatron, I understood she's not working well today, so she's not getting the ball anymore. It's over. Just let Beth hold it. And the reason why Beth is not even going to do a pass is because she's Metatron's will. So the action recovery is really high, and she's the only fast player in this line, and it's purposely done. So whenever she does, she can just keep the ball, act again, and then directly pass to people with basically full active bars. Okay, first pass. First shoot, we don't really care that much. So again, even if I'm using a light striker, they're still not taking that much damage. I'm not really sure if this is going to work out, but I think I might need to do an extra shot. Yeah. So this is the point in time when if they were to use a heal active, it'd be frustrating. But they sadly don't have the spirit generated for that. So I was saying, worst case, let Lucid shoot just for him not to have that spirit. I'm extremely shocked that worked. And it's basically over in just 1 second. So again, as I said, if they can't use their actives in backline, it's not that big a deal. So again, as many of them I've already said, you need a strong striker to pass this one. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but strong striker and light teams have a huge advantage. If you can, borrow a Vonchi, a Williams a problem, a Leviator could also work. So thank you very much for watching this. I'm going to slowly keep doing some more. And I know a few videos haven't been done in order properly. So for those, I apologize. It'll be fixed later on.